the main lessons we've learned so far is that the incumbents, they always tend to overrate the expected porting volumes, and hence they see it very much as a threat and a pure cost. The smaller operators, they see this as very, very beneficial, obviously a big, good chance and opportunity for them to get into the market. But in general, it's not a pure linkage between, okay, we introduce number portability and high porting volumes. There are many vital, important factors, like the cost of number portability. Obviously, no one's going to cost if you're going to charge you very high fees. The complexity of the process, the convenience of the process. Is it very many several steps? Do you have to go to your present operator first, etc.? Also, very importantly, the awareness of number portability in the market. Somebody needs to tell the market there is number portability, because the general population doesn't just find that. So also you have to remember that the smaller entrants, they see this as very beneficial. They think that the churn volumes are going to go up dramatically. A lot of customers are going to port to them. But just go to yourself. Would you just move to a new insurance company, to a new car, just because you could? Nah. The smaller operators, they need to put together some very good value propositions. Yes, you have to tell people that they can and should port, but also the reasons, the value propositions. And very many smaller operators, they've linked number portability to price. Come to us, we give you a great deal, etc. What we've seen, like here in Spain, Televisión, Orange today, they actually lost, being the third entrant, they lost more than 1 million subscribers through number portability. Whereas the two big incumbents, Vodafone and Movistar, Telefónica, they actually gained customers through number. I would actually say that number portability is like a magnifying glass. It kind of magnifies the existing reasons to churn. If you're doing a good job today, why should customers leave you? If you're not doing such a good job, people are irritated with your price, your product services, or your customer service. Yes, this number portability is the enabler helping you to move over the last final barrier. But otherwise, the winners and losers are normally known beforehand. I think it's a little bit simplistic, but there are definitely truth to it. So I would rather put it like this. If it's a very mature and saturated market, obviously there are no more new customers to compete for. Then number portability can actually remove that final barrier, helping customers to switch over. But once again, nobody's going to port just because you can. They need a reason to go so. Then we have less mature markets. For example, in South Africa, when we launched number portability down there, we said that the market was very, very saturated, but for the postpaid, high, profitable ARPA customers. But there was still a big chunk of the market who didn't have a cell phone at all. So the regulator and the third entrant, they also, number portability is a great tool. We're going to get in. And they did start getting portings. But what we also see is that that's a part of the market which didn't have cell phones at all. That one is actually growing faster than the porting market. The reason is, in the first case, that there's such a big part of the population who didn't have a cell phone at all. So this part of the population obviously wants to have a cell phone. So they're getting more and more wealthy. Wealth distribution in the country is increasing. So more and more people can afford having a cell phone. Whereas the people who already have, the high-value customers who've had it for many years, yes, they know now that they can change. And there are people definitely changing. But the process and the convenience and everything in South Africa is streamlined by the regulator and the third entrant for increasing portability, making it really easy. But customers still don't port in such fantastic volumes as could have been expected. And the reason, we come back to once again, if the big incumbents have better network coverage, better products and services, better customer service, and the smaller entrant doesn't have those great value propositions, only can say, come to us and we give you a free handset, or come to us, we give you 30% discount. Well, all the incumbents, they normally have deeper pockets. They can put even the same money in there. So you don't see that big movement anyway. So
do we need number portability?
I think number portability, definitely. If I take off my consultant hat, put on my consumer hat, it's great. Why wouldn't you? today, at least in my part, I'm from Sweden, in my part of Europe, you can just call up your insurance company for the car, for your home. You can swap insurance company every year, and in that way you get the prices lower. So definitely, from a consumer point of view, it's great. But from an operator and business, if you're a corporate or a business customer, it's also great. Obviously, imagine the classical example we always use is Joe the plumber. He drives around his little truck, and he has Joe the plumber on the sticker and his phone number. If he wants to change from one operator to the other, he doesn't want to have to remove his number and put the new number on the phone. That would be great for him. Then just to comment also on the other one, where we look at the mature markets. The countries where we've seen fantastic, not fantastic, but very high parts of the market porting, typical like the Nordic countries, Hong Kong, etc. What do we have there, which is very significant, is that Finland, Hong Kong and Finland have the highest percentage of the total market has ported. I think Hong Kong over 100%, Finland some 70%. But all the Nordic countries, imagine the numbers, but all the Nordic countries and Hong Kong, They have populations of maybe 4, 5, 6, 7. Sweden, the biggest, up to 9 million people. How many mobile network operators? At least 4, probably even more. Sweden plus 30 MVNOs. So if we take Spain here as an example, we have plus 45 million people, and we have 4 network operators, and we have maybe 20 MVNOs. Sweden, 9 million people, the same number of network operators, the same number of MVNOs. So very few people, very few inhabitants to compete for. Obviously, number portability becomes such a more important. Definitely. I think, MVNOs seem to be very good at using number portability. For example, here in Spain, as I told you before, we saw that the third entrant was not doing so well in number portability. Back then, let's say in the early 2000s, mainly the reason was that Vodafone and Movistar launched their retention campaigns, and Orange had very bad network coverage. But today, 2007, 2 years ago, the MVNOs were launched officially in Spain, and now they're all having roaming connections with the network operators. And they are actually the winners. Since 2007 until, let's say now, mid-2009, they are, the MVNOs and the fourth network operator, Yoigo, they are the winners in number portability, as per the latest report from the regulators. I cannot say yes or no. I think it's, I would love to hear somebody say, yes, that's the case, and then prove it too. Because you will always have a big product and service development in all operators, and they're all struggling to keep on par. Somebody launches 3G, the other one goes. Somebody launches HSDPA, the other one goes. We're launching a loyalty retention program, we do the same. But has this been intimately linked to number portability? The correlation for me is not clear, but I've seen beautiful slides from especially the European Union and from the regulators, etc., showing that number portability in itself should generate churn, should increase competition, should lower prices, should increase product and service development. But as I said, it's much more complex than that. And at the end of the day, if nobody knows about number portability, no one will port. And that's why we see in countries like Pakistan, Greece, even Sweden, where the regulator had to go out and actually make publications about number portability, commercials. Even the, what's it called, Dominican Republic now. The regulator has put out a movie on YouTube promoting number portability. So, no, I don't see that 100% clear correlation, definitely not.